So, welcome and good afternoon, Frederick.
Good afternoon, Francis.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our weekly blog yet again.
Yeah, it's been yet one other rough week, hasn't it? So I guess people have been working a lot this last week with the peer reviews and hand-ins of tutorials and such.
Yeah, and this is also one of the last weeks for our course. Basically, we are moving towards the final phase next week.
Yeah, so this will be next week will be the final blog, I guess.
Yeah, and that will be just a wrap up and no information sharing or major things. So, what's the agenda for today?
Yeah, let's look at the agenda. We have it in front of us now. Let's see if I can. This is week 31, and I can make it a little bit bigger.
So the first thing is the peer review, of course. And I guess the deadline is today, midnight, right?
Yeah.
And I was just manually checking. So we assigned more than 150 peer reviews, and 120 are basically around that number is already done. So they are already finished their peer reviews. That's a good number.
Yeah.
But we are still expecting some more in the coming hours.
Yes, and I wrote a message this morning on Discord. I just want to stress the fact that the peer review is something that is required of you. So you need to do all the quizzes, and you also need to do your peer review of your peers. So that is required. You won't get a grade if you don't do these things. So please do them.
And also, as you were mentioning about the quiz, I was also checking what's the status, and I found quiz 3 and 4 are not yet done by many of the students. So I ask you to, and we ask you to basically finish the quizzes also as soon as possible. And after the next week's, basically we will start grading. So if you don't, or if you finish your quizzes and peer reviews, it will be easier for us to proceed with the final grading and so on.
Yeah, and Mehdi is one of our TAs, which hasn't been in part of the workshops or anything, but I talked with him this day, and he's going to be the person that actually thoroughly reads every paper. There are a lot of tutorials, so I guess you might understand that me and Francis won't be giving like super personal feedback on everyone. Rest assured, everything will be read by a teacher. So don't worry, it will. But you might get feedback from Mehdi or from Francis or from me, just as you know. So me and Francis might not read 100% of everything, because even if we do, we might not get feedback on 100% of everything. So, but everyone will get their tutorial graded by a teacher. So don't worry too much if you I got maybe too few points from the peer review, and if you change whatever that you got a lower grade, like lower points for, you still have this. The peer review is for everyone to be better, sort of, and to sort out all these kind of things that happens. I mean, some people have experienced already that they didn't have a public link. Those things are automatically sorted out during this week just because of the peer review. So we all save a lot of time. And don't be afraid. I think I got some questions about that also, that please do change. It's not that it's a static thing. It's only when we look at it, when we grade it, then we grade it. So
Yeah.
you can still work on your tutorial. So even if you have handed in your tutorial and you gotten your reviews, and you might still be working on it this weekend and finishing up some final touches or changing things which could have been better, please do. It's not that you hand in something and it's a static picture of that. We will click on the HackMD or GitHub link every time we check during the grading. We won't be looking at the canvas like snapshot. So
Yes, I mean there was several questions also if they need to update or they want to update, what should do or what's the deadline for that. So in general, since next week is the final week for this course, we encourage you to update everything. Whatever you want to do is due by next Friday, that is August 13th, as the following week will be basically a grading week.
yeah. So please work on your tutorials as much as possible until the final date. And we might also address that some people are a bit late with submission. I've gotten some emails and messages that of people are waiting on their hardware and they want to submit late, or there was some they were sick, or there are always a lot of reasons why people are late. So I can just address that right away. It's no problem. The deadlines that we see in front of us are for those that are not late or want a grade in the first round. We will open up yet another round as soon as we are finished with the first round. So if you haven't submitted yet, don't worry, you will get your chance. And obviously you can submit right away, but we won't put up any peer reviews until we have a number of students which are like if there is only one person that hands in their paper, we can't assign any peer reviews. So we need a bunch of students for each round to get the peer reviews working. At least 3 students, as I would say.
After today, we will not assign any more peer reviews. Let's say in 15 days or 1 month or so, we will come. We will come with the new date later.
Yeah, so but it will be very soon after the first. I will announce the next deadline very soon. But I can say right away, last year, Francis, I think we opened it up almost like the week after the course had ended. If I remember correctly.
Maybe 2 weeks, I don't remember exactly, but not very late, I guess. And yes, you are already showing the number of people who are finished with their quizzes. Work on your quiz 3 and 4 in particular, because it seems there are a good number of people who are missing yet.
Yeah.
And the next week is the final presentation week. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I see.
Yes. And what could we say about this? We could probably say some backstory about why we planned it as it is now and how we did last year. Last year, we did 2 evenings with Zoom presentations. We ended up, I think we do have a slightly a bit more presentations this year than last year, but it's more or less the same.
More or less the same.
Yeah, more or less the same. So about, I would say 20 to 30 presentations. I haven't checked the list today, but we are at about 30 presentations, aren't we?
Yeah.
Or maybe 25, yeah. And last year it was very, I mean, you get very tired of sitting in a Zoom meeting for hours, and then we also had a list. So when we just took them in order. So when the first person was done, we opened up for some questions, and then we just continued on. So if you wanted to look at all the presentations or a particular presentation, you actually had to stay in the Zoom meeting all the time. This year, we made it a little bit different. We are going to stream all the presentations to YouTube, but it will be unlisted. So it won't be a public link. I don't want to force anyone to be public. It's still your choice if you don't want to be seen. But this is a compromise, so to say. This means that you will all be able to, with the link, to see the presentations afterwards, as they still will stay on the unlisted link. Maybe we'll put it down later on, but that at least is how it looks now. And also we have time slots. So you can look at the schedule, and if there is a presentation that I'm super interested in that presentation, please join in and look at that time. But hopefully all of you are going to look at all the presentations. That's the point. We want everyone to join in, as many as possible.
So by joining
time in between. So even if someone is finished at 15:10, and the next presentation is at 15:20, we will have like 10-minute break. So because every presentation will start at that particular time, so everyone can tune in to their presentation they are interested in. So that's the plan for this year. It will be a little bit more relaxed, but it also takes 3 days instead of 2 days.
And also by joining, I guess you mean people should join in on YouTube and Discord, not on StreamYard, because StreamYard
exactly.
is only for the presenters.
Yeah, exactly. StreamYard link, which is in the presentation plan, you will find a StreamYard link. That brings you to the StreamYard studio, which me and Francis are using now, which is, I would actually say that those of you that are going to present next week live, please try out StreamYard. It's free to use, so you can use it without, it doesn't cost anything, but it works much like Google Meet or any other online meeting tool. You don't need an app. You just run it in your browser. And I think that the choice, the best choice is Chrome. But obviously it works well in Safari as well. You're using Safari now, Francis?
Yeah.
So it should work with any browser, I guess. So it's super easy. I'm not worried at all about that. But those of you that are going to present live, join in at least a couple of minutes before. You can join in even like an hour before if you want. You can, but please try the StreamYard Studio before, so at least you know how the camera, mic, and all those things work. But you don't need our help for that. It's just go into StreamYard and click around, create an account, and try to record something. You don't have to stream it. It's just so you know that how the technology works.
And also we have a presentation plan that is already public on a Google Sheet, but there are some people who wants to present their work, but as a pre-recorded video on YouTube. As we noticed, there are only a couple of links that are available on the presentation plan. So put your YouTube links on the presentation plan so that we can play them or show them during the slots that we have available. Like I think there are 8 or 10 pre-recorded presentations, but not all of them has provided the YouTube link.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit small to share, so I made it bigger. But you can see here, those of you that are going to, like, the link for everyone that wants to watch, it's here. So we are, of course, going to share these links in the Discord channel when we start the presentations and so on. So if you forget them, you will see them. And we will share the planning as well. So everything will be shared in Discord. Probably on Monday morning or something like that. We'll probably wait until the last minute before we make the final plan. But those of you that are going to join in, you're obviously going to use this StreamYard Studio link. And it's a new link for every day. So just...
You mean those who are going to present?
Yeah. So this is those... present, those that are going to present, that's the link to StreamYard Studio. So just click on that, and we'll make sure that those are distributed to those that want to present. So the plan for next week is that I put myself in the at 1400. Maybe I will keep that very short and put in a pre-recorded presentation. I'm not sure. I have to look at the schedule, but the point is that we'll just continue on. So there are some of these are that are now they are live, and as you said, there are a lot of these that are pre-recorded. And just so you know, if we don't find your pre-recorded video, if you already have it in your document, like in your report or HackMD document, we might be able to find it and show it. But if not, and also I would say that make it easy for us. Put your link here in this document. I mean, that's the easiest thing. And what we are going to do is to show your video, your pre-recorded presentation on a time slot. Those that have pre-recorded videos, we will just distribute them because they for everyone. But people might ask questions. So there might actually be a good idea even if you have something pre-recorded, you'll be online if you have the opportunity and look at the questions if there are any at the Discord. So yeah.
There was a question on Discord, but I am not clear about the question. Is it fine to deviate from the recommended order in the presentation? The students think the demo might fit his system better in the end prior to the questions. You mean the order of the presenters or the order of the outline that we proposed for the presentation? So that's not clear.
So I say, please, Erik, go into that document and change the order for yourself, and problem solved.
Okay, so it says the order in the recommended outline. Yes, you can. I mean, choose the best way you want to present your project. So that's just the.
Yeah. So please, Erik, change the order if you think that's better for your presentation. I'm happy with you changing that yourself. You should all have full access to that presentation plan document, and I do trust everyone, so no problem. So yeah, so it will be super fun week. This is really the I would say the top of the top in the course. I do remember last year we had a lot of fun and fun presentations. I remember I laughed out loud actually when there was some presentation with music and sound and everything, and that if you remember that Lego car that was driving around. So it will be fun. Yeah, it will be
that's
fun.
the most fun part and interesting part of the course. I mean, these presentations.
Yeah, and also if you want your mother or employer or whatever to join in, you can share the YouTube link. But in respect for everyone in this course, please don't share it in a public forum, because then it will become a public link, even though we didn't want it that way. So just as you know. So
yeah. Anything else to? I don't see any new things to discuss.
No, I think.
Yeah. And I don't see any questions either on Discord. So with that, maybe we can conclude this blog. And
absolutely.
Have a nice weekend, everyone. And see you on Monday and the following 2 days also.
Yes. So please do all things that are required of you, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.